So, hi Antonio, thank you very much for joining us. First of all, I'd like to congratulate yourself and MSC Cruises on the number of successful voyages that MSC Grandiosa has now experienced, which is great news for us all. What can you tell us about the health and safety protocols that you've rolled out to make sure that guests are safe on board?
So first of all, hi to everyone, and thank you, Alison, for this opportunity, to have a little chat after quite a few months, on a standstill. So it's nice to see you and to hear from you. So yes, we are now on our 5th cruise on board MSC Grandiosa. People may be aware that MSC Grandiosa was, the first international cruise ship, to resume the operations in the Mediterranean. She was on her first, sailing on the 15th of August out of Genoa and performing an itinerary where we have some beautiful destinations from Italy and Malta. MSC Grandiosa resuming the operation was just basically the end of a very long process. And the process was all about, delivering a robust and healthy, safe and safety protocol. So having the right protocol in place to allow people to cruise again on board of one of our ships. To support us throughout the process, we also created a panel of experts, basically having experts from different countries. We've been liaising with some of the most popular universities across Europe in order, to take their feedback on board and to develop hand in hand with them a health and safety protocol that basically ticked all the boxes. So after months of hard work and investments, because these health and safety protocols don't come cheap, and purchasing devices and the technology and all the tools that basically we needed in order to allow us to restart the operations, it took us months. But finally we got there, so we are really proud of what we have been delivering so far. And just to tell you more about the protocol itself, there are some key pillars. Of course, safety of our guests is the priority, so we implemented straight away one of the key milestones of the protocol itself, universal testing for all of our passengers. So basically, passengers get tested even before they get on board the ship. There's different steps that we have been implemented in order to guarantee that safety on board. And it starts with probably the most simple one of all, and that's the health questionnaire. So basically customers will need to fill out a health questionnaire before they even get to the port of embarkation. Actually, for our crew members, things are a little bit more articulated. So they will need to do 3 different tests. Then they will need to respect the 14 days quarantine before they even get on board the ship. So the combination of 3 tests, if all the 3 tests are negative, and once they've respected the 14 days isolation period, then they will be allowed to go on board. So basically, we've been testing every human being on board of that ship. So I think that automatically reduces the risks, by 99.9%. Then we know nothing is perfect in this world. There's always a minimal risk, but then to further reduce that risk, but there's loads of other things that we are currently doing on board. And one of them is basically the elevated sanitation and cleaning measures. So we have been adopting the latest technology and the latest, cleaning products available in order to kill all the viruses and bacteria on board. And if before we were very well known for the cleanliness of our ships, because we used to sanitize them twice a day, well, now we are doing that 5 times a day. One of the things that at the beginning was causing a bit of aggro, a bit of confusion, was the air conditioning. So the fact that the air conditioning was basically pushing the air across all cabins, across all public areas. Well, we also had to change that. So we have a new technology that basically cleans the air at 99%. So and that air is all fresh air. So we're not recycling the air anymore. It's 100% fresh air. So that again allows us to avoid any circulation of I don't know how to call it, negative air or air which could be potentially affected by the virus, on board of our ship. We've done, of course, another key milestone was the social distancing. So we have implemented what we call responsible social distance. Sometimes it might be impossible to keep that 2 meters distance between passengers. I'm talking about, when customers take the lift, they're inside an elevator, so it's just impossible. Although our lifts are big, it's just impossible to keep that 2 meters distance between them. That's where we ask customers, to wear a mask. So to avoid, any possible contact between customers. And we do invite people, to wear a mask when needed. But other than that, we are talking about ships, so big. There are big spaces. There's loads of public areas, and so we are ensuring there's the right distance between customers at all time, whether they're going to a theatre, which is now being operated with reduced capacity. It's about 50%. So basically, there will always be empty seats between one customer and the other. This means we are actually doing more shows than usual because the theatre before was operating at full capacity. Now it's 50%. So you will need to do at least 2 shows to make up for the missing capacity. So are we still running the buffet? Yes, we are. However, we have changed the setup. So in the past, there was the customer going to the food counters and collecting the food themselves. Right now is actually our crew, our staff on board, basically filling the plate for them and giving it to the customers. Of course, all of our crew is wearing the proper, PPE, so shield, mask, and everything, and gloves to avoid any possible contamination. People are obliged to take MSC Excursions when going ashore. There is a specific reason why we're doing that. It's because we have we've spent so many efforts in creating that bubble on board that we don't want that bubble to break. We reach a particular destination. So for the time being, customers who want to go ashore will need to be on an MSC arranged excursion. Why is that? Because we're working with selected suppliers who fully comply with our health and safety protocol. That means that all the coaches are duly sanitized, that there is enough space between people, that they're following basically our protocol step to step. When they're visiting the different attractions included in the tour, we always do it on our terms. And this is the period where we need to be strict for obvious reasons. We are dealing with an invisible enemy, and this enemy doesn't make any prisoners. So we need to make sure that we're going above and beyond the current regulations, the current requirements, to ensure the health and safety of our customers. Now, you may have heard the news a few weeks ago of that family basically breaking the rules in Naples. And I know it's harsh, but we had to take action. And basically that family broke the bubble. During the excursion, they decided to go shopping themselves. So they detached themselves from the bubble. And when they came back to the terminal, of course, there was no other option than telling them basically, unfortunately, we cannot let you on board anymore. We've clarified that at the beginning of the journey. We were really clear and transparent with our customers. So whether we like it or not, there are some rules that we need to respect. And we will do absolutely everything to enforce them. Because as I said, we're still dealing with this pandemic, and we should never let our guard down, because the second we start relaxing, that's when you start facing troubles. And last but not least, we have enhanced all of the medical facilities on board. Believe it or not, we've also purchased ventilators. So in the medical area, we've got ventilators, so we can treat should there ever be a problem, we can treat that in real time. And of course, the ship has been the setup of the ship is slightly different nowadays. So we have a self-contained area,
Yep.
which is there should, you know, some issues appear in the future. We hope not, but it's better to, you know, better be safe than sorry, and be ready for the worst case scenario. Just
so
to give
Antonio, do you have a change to your medical staff on board as well as a result of those other changes you've made to medical facilities?
Correct. Yes, we have. So we have significantly improved the medical facilities on board, and that applies both to the devices that we're using and to the number of healthcare workers that are currently on board, you know, MSC Grandiosa. So the medical facilities are probably 5 times the size of what we used to have before. We have to, as I said, so we need to make sure that we have plenty of people and you know, the right technology to deal with that. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but to ensure the health and safety of our passengers, we spend up to €500,000 for each cruise to get everyone tested and to make sure that all those lovely things I've been sharing with you right now are duly implemented. So the cost of the health and safety protocol could go up to €500,000 for each single sailing. So that shows that, you know, we are definitely making an investment in order to allow customers, you know, to safely cruise on board of our ships.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Antonio, for joining us. It's really important for our customers and our employees to hear from you and to hear about the fantastic work that MSC Cruises have done, especially recently. We look forward to seeing you on board an MSC cruise ship in the not too distant future.